Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. I invite you to take a good close look at this photo and notice the little pansies that have grown all around outside the confines of the pots, in the gravel, demonstrating the tenacity of life to express in the most difficult of circumstances. So just take a moment to breathe in that sense of determination, of resolve to live, to express. And now breathing deeply, I invite you just to allow your eyes to close and to focus on the breath and the life within yourself. Visualize life tingling, sparkling in every cell of your body. Every cell having that same determination to thrive. And recall that one of our 12 powers is the power of life itself. And that power of life, that determination, that resolve, that resiliency is demonstrated by the pansies, is also yours. And recall that there is one life. Each of us, each pansy, each tree, each animal, each cell of every pansy, tree, animal, and you is filled with the one life, the divine life, the perfect life, perfect, whole, and complete, and present everywhere. You are an expression of the divinity. Your light is the light of God shining as you. I invite you to take your attention now to your heart space. And breathing in, feeling it expand, opening, allowing the light to shine out. Feel your heart space shimmering with light and life. And know that your heart, that divinely designed organ, is pumping life throughout your body. Feel it reach your fingertips, bringing them to life, allowing them to feel a sense of touch. Feel that life reaching your toes and your feet. allowing your feet to support you as you stand, as you walk. Feel that life reaching your ears, allowing you to hear the sounds of life all around. Feel that life reaching your eyes, allowing you to see and recognize life all around you, life meeting life. Life expressing as you, life expressing as the air, life expressing as the earth, life expressing as the water, and all the beings within it. Life expressing as all the animals, all the creatures walking this earth. Life expressing as the birds in the sky, and all the other creatures that fly. Feel yourself at one with each of these expressions. The life that is God fills this world. Animates this world. Fills my body. Activates my body. Nurtures my body, replenishes my body, heals my body, maintains my body. The life that is God fills my mind, grows my mind, expands my mind. There is one life expressing as in and through each of us. And so now I invite you to return your attention to your breath and feel that life pulsing through your body. Become aware of your physical body. Become fully present in it. Breathing deeply, opening it, expanding it. Bringing your attention, your concentration back to it. Breathing deeply. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Thank you for spending this time with me this morning. Please stay tuned for our service, which will begin in just a few minutes.
Oh.
You want a chair? Make it.
There you go.
Worth the problem.
See, I heard what you said. I don't even have as big as ears as you do.
Are we sitting for the first time? Is that your plan here?
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Now.
Look at that.
Is this going to bother you if we move this here? Are we ready?
Good morning, everyone. This is Kenton on keyboards. Welcome, Kenton.
Yay! Okay. I am the radiant life of God. I am, I am, I am. I am the radiant life of God. I am, I am, I am. I am the radiant life. I think we're off here, sorry. The radiant life of God. I am, I am, I am. I am the wonderful love of God. I am, I am, I am. I am the wonderful love of God. I am, I am, I am. The grace of God, the joy of God, serenity, harmony, rhythm of God. I am the wonderful love of God. I am, I am, I am. I am the wisdom and power of God. I am, I am, I am. I am the wisdom and power of God. I am, I am, I am. The light of God, success of God, prosperity, happiness, might of God. I am the wisdom and power of God. I am, I am, I am.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here. Everyone who's made it through the struggle in the snow in person, and everyone who's tuning in out in video land. Thank you for joining us on this most difficult of mornings, and we're glad to see you here. And we begin by acknowledging that we are situated here in Nanaimo on the traditional and unceded territory of the Nanaimo people, and throughout Turtle Island, as North America is traditionally called, we acknowledge the diverse First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples of our lands. By making this acknowledgement, we strive to be allies and take an active part in reconciliation by honoring the land, the history, and the culture and heritage of the Indigenous people. We recognize our oneness, we realize our history, and we choose to create a new reality. We are one.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell me I was anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell me I was less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that my loving is a miracle? How deeply I'm connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell them they were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell them they were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that their loving is a miracle? How deeply they're connected to my soul.
guest appearance.
I love myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. Now I love you the way you are. There's nothing you need to do. When I feel the love inside myself, it's easy to love you too. Behind your fears, your rage and tears, I see your shining star. And I love you just the way you are. I love myself the way I am, and still I want to grow. But change outside can only come when deep inside I know I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. Yes, I love myself just the way I am. I love the world the way it is, 'cause I can clearly see that all the things I judge are done by people just like me. So till the birth of peace on earth that only love can bring, I'll help it by growing everything.
Will you join me in prayer? And we gather here prepared to help the world grow by loving everything. By loving every person, by loving everything, by loving every situation, by loving every event. We are love. And together we hold the space of love for the entire world. Because there is only one of us. And so we bring into our consciousness our indigenous people, the people of Ukraine, the people of Russia, the people wherever there is unrest in our world, the people who are ill, the people who are homeless, the people who are suffering, and the people who are healthy, vibrant, prospering, and happy. All of it is included in the oneness. And remind ourselves and each other today, we are one, and so it is. There is a poem by James Russell Lowell, and some of the words are, "Not what we give, but what we share, for the gift without the giver is bare. Who gives himself with his alms feeds three: himself, his hungering neighbor, and me. Eric Butterworth had this to say about that. He said, "You give only a gift, whether it's materialistic or money or things or whatever. It is something that depletes you in the giving. But when you give out of the overflow of the divine process within you, and thus give in love and service, you put something into the gift that transcends its intrinsic value. And you are actually enriched and blessed in the giving. And the other person feels that blessing, and it's multiplied and increased in terms of what it actually does for him. It's a whole different thing. The material gift is simply a vehicle through which an inner change takes place, or should. Both of you are the richer for the experience when you give in the right consciousness. And though the material bauble may be discarded and worn out and laid aside, the blessing remains as a soul treasure that is never lost, both to the giver and to the receiver. Now let me suggest this to you in a little parable, a little illustration that is something about the structure of the universe in which we live. And it's as simple as this. If I have $1, you have $1, and I give you my dollar and you give me your dollar, now we each simply have $1, right? But if I have an idea and you have an idea, and I give you my idea and you give me your idea, now we each have 2 ideas. And that tells us something about the way this universe functions. It tells us something about the miracle of mind. It tells us something about the depth of the God potential within every person. Because you see, when we give something of ourselves, whether it be giving love, giving something in consciousness, giving something creative that involves the idea forming process in mind, then we don't lose it. Someone once said that you never really own anything until you can give it away. It increases and expands as you use it. It is the divine law that is the key to happiness and success and health and fulfillment. It's the basic idea of the whole universe itself. Think about that. Meditate on it. Analyze it in terms of your relationship to life and in terms of the things you may be involved in during this season. Because you see, a true Christmas, the Christmas of the inner self, deals with giving oneself, which actually involves a giving way to our greater potential. It's a kind of birth of the Christ in the manger consciousness, a commitment to the continued unfoldment of the greater possibilities of our nature. And can we go back and pick up the slide I missed as always? Please repeat with me the vision of unity, which is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. Thank you.
Up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Up to a higher place. Up, far beyond this time and space. Up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. No more
Hello. How is everyone?
Good.
Oh yeah, happy birthday too to me. Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, happy birthday yesterday. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Best time of year is right now.
Double dipping.
Yeah, you bet. And hello to everybody joining us streaming or watching the recording. Welcome. Thanks for being here. It's great to be here with everybody. And of course, this time of year is, we've been in the Advent calendar, which begins with hope and faith, and then we move into peace and love and joy. And I've been thinking about this a lot. I've been listening to some Richard Rohr. I have been reading a bunch of different things. I have been going through my Revealing Word. And I've got to this place where it's like, I get that this is a really beautiful time of year, and there's this reverence for it. But when I hear things like hope, faith, peace, love, joy, I just want to explode with fun. I don't want it to be all heavy and serious. And I get that we want to celebrate it, but it's joyful, right? It's a time for us to all gather. It's a time for us to be at a table together. It's a time for us to celebrate life, celebrate what's coming, celebrate our own greatness and each other's greatness, right? And celebrate the idea that we have an understanding that there is something greater than ourselves as well that we can aspire and live into, right? So that, to me, when I think of today being joy in Advent, that's like joy. That's joy, right? That's that feeling of like, yeah! Life! Come on! Joy is like zeal, which is one of our 12 powers, right? Zeal. And it lives in the medulla oblongata. Like, what a great word. Medulla oblongata, which is in the brainstem, the back of the neck. It's the color orange. Not that that really matters, except that it is this part of us that we have access to. It is one of our things as a human that we can call upon. It's always there. It's always with us, whether we decide to live into it or not. We have that within us. And so we get to choose. We get to choose that we can have joy. I like to think of joy as this explosion of the universe into our own being, right? Like the Big Bang is within us. That same thing that started all of this is within us, and we can call upon that whenever we want. Bill Holton in The Power Up Your Life on the 12th Power says, it's the ability to be enthusiastic and passionate, inspire, motivate, and excite based on our senses, thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Senses, thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. So it's fully being awake. It's fully being present. That's what brings us that. I know I've talked about this scripture already this year. It was maybe even just a couple months ago, but I heard it earlier this year, and it has been with me, and it has been working on me, and it just won't leave me alone. And I even brought it up at my mom's funeral, and I'm going to bring it up again today because I think there's a lot here for what our faith might look like, what the teachings of unity might look like, what the Buddha has talked about, what the Tao has talked about. I think it's inside of all of that is in this. So it's Hebrews 12, 1 and 2. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. And looking on to Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. Yeah, like for me, I just want to like explode when I read that, when I think about it. And so let's look at it. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses. Are we not all surrounded by witnesses? Do we not all have people in our lives that are looking upon us, that are seeing us? Right? These are the cloud of witnesses. Are we not witnesses to others? I mean, look at us. We're all gathered here. We're watching on the internet. We're observing. So we are always in the view of others. We are always surrounded by this great cloud of witnesses. And in that, let us lay aside every weight, every sin that so easily besets us. This is looking at those things in our lives that we carry around, right? How many people, I just question, how many people spend every day focusing on the amazing things they have done? Right? It's not normal to do that, is it? It's much more that we focus on the things that didn't work out. We focus on the things that didn't quite go the right way, or the things that we said that we maybe shouldn't have said, or the things that somebody said to us that didn't feel so good. And then we own those things and we carry them around. We don't spend our time focusing on all of the greatness that we have. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. It just seems to be how we're wired, right? It just seems to be that that's the default mechanism of being a human, of having this human experience, is that we want to focus on those things. So let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us. Sin, missing the mark, the things that didn't quite work out. And let us run with patience the race that is set before us. And when I think of that, I think of back to being a child, right? The joy of life, that exuberance. You know, I often, does anybody here have like Google Photos or iPhone photos, and it sends you, you know, you have this collection, and every day it's like, this happened 10 years ago, and this happened 50 years ago. Well, it hasn't quite been 50 years, but at some point it will be. This happened 50 years ago today. And so I've been reviewing those lately, and a lot of them involve my children and just their amazing joy for life. They're just so, like, I just want to go back there and just squeeze them up, because I feel like I wasn't doing it enough back then. And then I want to capture that for myself, right? This joy of life. Running at life, but running at it with patience and ease and grace. Being able to breathe into the moment. When something comes up, being able to pause and think, oh, how do I want to respond in this moment? Right? Having a way about ourselves where we can control how we are occurring in the world. And then looking on to Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. You know, here's another thing. As I read more and more of the scriptures, Jesus was not this guy that was going around going, oh, everything's so lovely and wonderful, and let's be joyful and peaceful. He was out there causing some trouble. He had this idea that I've got to help the poor, the lowly. I've got to help raise them up, aspire them to have some dignity. And then he was attacking the hierarchy and saying, you got to come down from there. Right? That's what he was doing. He was trying to raise people up and bring the top down so that we were all working together as one, so that nobody was left out. That's not done by just being a nice guy all the time. That's done by calling people out, by challenging people. Right? That's what he was about. He wasn't a Christian. You know, that didn't exist when he was around. That came after. And so I think to honor the joy of Jesus would be to honor that about what he was doing, the work that he was doing in the world. And he did it joyfully. You know, he rode into Jerusalem on a donkey. Like that's somebody that's like up to something in my book. You know, he could have been on a big horse and a steed, but no, he's like, no, I'm coming in on a donkey waving some palms. Here we go. That's cool. That's a cool guy. and who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross. And here's the thing, he rides in on a donkey knowing he is going to likely die. That this is going, he is out to challenge. And so he's going in carrying that, and still he is filled with this joy for life. That this is mine to do. Again, going back to that, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. Well, riding in on a donkey is riding in patiently. Right? It's not running at full pace. Right? That's what there is for us to see. And then is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. Well, that's just some good old first century Bible speak for mastering something, for becoming the master of something. And so I think we can look at something like that, and if we really sat with it and prayed on these kind of things and meditated on these, we would find more and more for ourselves that we can expand on and bring to life within us. And isn't this a great time of year to do that? To joyfully do that with others? You know, to get together with others and sit down and break bread, have a meal, talk about joy, talk about our gratitude for everything we have in our lives. What if we sat around at a table and took turns telling each other what they loved most about the other person, what they thought was so amazing about them? Yeah. You know, we might have to dig a little deeper to get there. But we hang out with these people for a reason. So there must be something there that attracts us to them, that brings them into our life. Maybe it's a lesson that they are there to teach us. I kind of got off my notes a little bit. Khalil Gibran said, zeal, joy, is a volcano, the peak of which the grass of indecisiveness does not grow. So again, another wisdom teaching that is pointing us to this idea of living with purpose. I decided that I would make some acronyms for joy. So it's a bit like bad dad jokes, I'm afraid. But I'm a dad, so I get to do this. This came to me this morning, so this was all pretty much I wung it together on the walk with the dog. So here we go. So joy. If we want this, and this is to help us find that joy, right? So these are reminders of how we can find joy. Judgment only yields pain. So joy, judgment only yields pain. And so if we're going to judge, if we're going to be in judgment, then judge only you. Judge only yourself, okay? And then when we're going to do that, when we're going to judge only ourselves, we're usually looking at the past, right? Something that's happened. So jump over yesterday, okay? So that's next. You got to jump over that stuff from yesterday. And then when you get there, maybe you can just smile and think, oh, hey, I'm on the right path. And then you have a choice. You can still judge or you can yodel. Judge or yodel. Which one would be better to do? Right? Like who? Come on. When you're yodeling, you can't be sitting in judgment. You just can't. Those two cannot live in the same world at the same time. And then maybe once you get to that place, you're feeling really good and you might get together with some people and you can jam on Yahweh, right? You can jam on some new ideas about God, right? Why not? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that great spirit that's available to all of us that we can share on. We can talk about what God means to us and what it means to somebody else and whether you believe in it or not, but you can have joy and fun around that conversation. And then when you do that, you get to juicy, orgasmic yearning for the spirit of life. Right? And then, once you're there, it just requires just one yes. Just say yes to the spirit of joy and love and peace and hope and faith that is in you. And that will lead to a wonderful life. It's guaranteed. Not by me, by all of the wisdom teachers from the past, that is the key to a joyful, loving life. And so I invite you to just affirm with me right now, affirming joy. I claim my joy and enthusiasm to be involved in each moment of my life. And to aspire and to inspire all those around me to do the same. And to inspire all those around me to do the same. Yeah, namaste. And so join me for a meditation. And I invite the words of the Irish poet John O'Donoghue as we focus in on ourselves for a moment. And I know this time of year can also bring up a little bit of loss, a little bit of feeling of there might be something I need to overcome personally. So for yourself, I invite you to bring these words in as you, if you're comfortable, you can close your eyes and just allow my words to settle in here, the words of John O'Donoghue. May you be blessed with a wise and compassionate guide who can accompany you through the fear and grief until your heart has wept its way to your true self. Just allow yourself to sit in this moment for a few minutes. And as we bring ourselves back to this present moment and back to this space, I invite each of us to go out and be the joy of the world.
You are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit. On the first day of Christmas, my spirit said to me, you need to forgive and release. On the second day of Christmas, my spirit said to me, love everyone, and you need to forgive and release. On the third day of Christmas, my spirit said to me, cast out fear, love everyone, and you need to forgive and release. On the fourth day of Christmas, my true heart said to me, pray every day, cast out fear, love everyone, and you need to forgive and release. On the fifth day of Christmas, my spirit said to me, God's everywhere. Pray every day, cast out fear, love everyone, and you need to forgive and release. On the sixth day of Christmas, my spirit said to me, look on the bright side, God's everywhere. Pray every day, cast out fears, love everyone, and you need to forgive and release. On the seventh day of Christmas, my spirit said to me, always be thankful, look on the bright side, God's everywhere. Pray every day, cast out fear, love everyone, and you need to forgive and release. On the eighth day of Christmas, my spirit said to me, know you're abundant, always be thankful, look on the bright side, God's everywhere. Pray every day, cast out fear, love everyone, and you need to forgive and release. Ninth day of Christmas, my spirit said to me, strive to be patient, know you're abundant, always be thankful, look on the bright side, God's everywhere. Pray every day, cast out fear, love everyone, and you need to forgive and release. On the 10th day of Christmas, my spirit said to me, try meditation, strive to be patient, know you're abundant, always be thankful, look on the bright side, God's everywhere. Pray every day, cast out fear, love everyone, and you need to forgive and release. On the 11th day of Christmas, my spirit said to me, help those who need it, try meditation, strive to be patient, know you're abundant, always be thankful, look on the bright side, God's everywhere. Pray every day, cast out fear, love everyone, and you need to forgive and release. On the 12th day of Christmas, my spirit said to me, do affirmation, help those who need it, try meditation, strive to be patient, know you're abundant, always be thankful, look on the bright side, God's everywhere. Pray every day, cast out fears, love everyone, and you need to forgive and release.
Thank you for your good nature in working through that. We did that 3 times this year. I promise we don't have to do it again until next December. So, good stuff to do. Whoops. After service today is your last chance to join in the fellowship on Zoom, discussing the 4 Sundays of Advent. The meeting ID is on your screen, and the link was in your newsletter. And also the last day this week, that was good, to join in the Advent discussion online with Wendy Carr from Unity Canada. Again, link is in the newsletter. And carrying on, candle lighting service in Victoria tomorrow at 6:30 at First Metropolitan Church. Sing out at 6:30, candle lighting at 7 o'clock. And everyone is welcome. So if you know someone in Victoria who doesn't maybe have a spiritual home and still likes to honor the season, please invite them to come along. And the next day, on Tuesday, candle lighting service here at 7 o'clock. We will be live streaming that, and you're welcome in person, weather permitting. We will have no service Christmas Day or New Year's Day, and so our first week back will be January, I think it's the 9th, actually. The second Sunday in January. It's right, it's the 8th. Okay, moving on. A wee little Christmas story. A week yesterday, Saturday, on the weekend, the day before Christmas, please join Thomas and friends, and a swell little new musician we haven't heard before, for something a little different, we think. Thomas isn't quite sure yet what it is, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be amazing. Yeah. And our ongoing events, as usual, the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays at 11 in Comox is the prayer circle. Tai Chi is on hiatus, but Thursdays continue at 10:30 with Leanne, weather permitting. And 1st and 3rd Fridays is board games in Nanaimo. It's membership renewal time. If you have been a member last year, an active member last year, you will have received an email from Cindy just saying, if you want to renew your membership, just click on this, return this, and say, yes, please renew my membership. If you have not found that, please check your spam box. It might be there. Or let us know and we can send it again. If you have not been a member and would like to be a member, please contact me and I'll walk you through what needs to happen. Spirit Groups Intention Circles continues. The next session will be with Yvonne on January 8th. All are welcome to join at any time. And the Unity Canada Social Justice Book Club has been decided. There's a link in your newsletter where you can order the book and start reading it, and there will be a Zoom given for that starting January 12th. And Spirit Groups, a new Spirit Group beginning on January 17th, Discover the Power Within You, based on Eric Butterworth's book. And again, in your newsletter or online, you can click on that book. It will take you directly to Amazon to order that. And we thank you so much for all you do to support this effort here in Vancouver Island, across the whole island and everywhere who we can reach by Zoom or by internet. Not thinking very well this morning. I'm sure you'll forgive me for that. And we appreciate your financial assistance. If you are in a position to help us financially to carry on our work, donations at unityvancouverisland.com. And gratitude is to thank all of those who have renewed their membership immediately. I think I've got about 40 answers back, but I think there's about 2 times that many still to come. So thank you for doing it, and thank you for thinking about doing it and doing it as soon as we hang up today, perhaps. Here come the kids. The kids are already here. Let us tell our kids just what we think of them. We see the divine light shining as you. We love and appreciate you exactly the way you are. And wasn't I clever to find such an appropriate picture of the 2 kids with their hats on singing? Are there more kids? Oh, why, hello, more kids. Welcome. We're so glad you're here, too. All right. Let's say the affirmations for the kids who just came in. We see the divine light shining as you. We love and appreciate you exactly the way you are. And I see a peace on earth sign, so I know what the kids talked about. Please join me for our prayer of protection. The light that is God surrounds us. We are one with the light. The love that is God enfolds us. We are one with the love. The power that is God protects us. We are one with the power. The presence that is God watches over us. We are one with the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well, and so it is. Amen. And today we will sing, as we usually do when the children are here, our final song, Join Hands All Around the World.